I wanted to ask you the question because we kind of talked about cabinets the other day, and you mentioned something. Today, we've got all these modelers and silent stages going on, and we got to push to get a 112 combo or 212 cab sometimes on the stage. But in today's day and age, you can see the prices dropping on these 412s because nobody's really taking them out. Are 412 cabinets irrelevant?
Um, I don't know why, but it bothered me how you said irrelevant. Irrelevant, isn't it?
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
why.
think I was just trying to put an emphasis on the word and it just came
Irrelevant.
out wrong.
It just bothered me. It's kind of like
Irrelevant.
everyone makes fun of me because I say you draw with crowns, but it's
Crayons.
crayons.
Yeah,
And I
crayons.
can't get that. Or is it syrup and syrup? See, I don't know.
I don't know.
We
All of our viewers over in the UK are going to tell us that we're saying it wrong every
Oh
time we
yeah,
say it.
well, first of all, it's valves, not tubes.
That's true. That's true.
But anyways, 412 cabs irrelevant. So, I don't know if we'll take flack for this or not. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna say it. If you're a studio musician or play stages that like have at least 1,000 people, great. You don't need it otherwise. 412s, I think they're outdated. 412s are outdated with the current setup we have, as far as quiet stages, as far as bedroom use, going to a local gig. You don't need a 412 because a lot of things nowadays you can either mic the amp or you can plug directly into the board. You really don't need to move sound that much anymore. No one's playing loud gigs anymore, that's for sure, unless you're going outside. But when are you going to use a 412 outside? Unless you're not micing your amp and you're playing outside. And even then, you don't really need a 412. It's really for the studio musician or like big name artists. I don't think you need a 412. I think they're outdated at this point. Now, do they have a sound of their own? Yes, I'm not saying they don't, right? There is a whole feel to it. There is a sound difference when you mic, I feel like, because you just get more of a wide array of a sound. But practicality wise, outdated.
Yeah, so, that is, yeah, I can't disagree more. I honestly can't disagree more. They're definitely not, they're not outdated. It is not a sound thing and it's not a volume thing, I should say. It is not a volume thing whatsoever with a 412. A 412 is all about the sound and the feel. It's about filling, obviously, but it's about the feel of a 412. There's nothing quite like a closed back 412 if you're playing rock music, classic rock, some of that type of stuff. There's just a feel difference. You don't have to play it louder. But when you play a 112, even closed back 112 or 212 closed back, there's some good ones out there. Those like Thiel cabinets
Mm-hmm.
that Bogner's made, Bogner, however you say that.
Yeah.
Mesa's made some of that stuff. I think Friedman cabinets are really big sounding
They are.
and big feeling,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nothing like plugging an amp into a 412 cabinet, even if the volume, like decibel rating, is the exact same. I think it feels completely different. I think I think the way you described it and the way you're saying that they're not needed, especially if you don't play at least 1,000 people or you're not playing some arena gig. I think the way you're thinking about that is the same way that some people think about a Princeton reverb on the stage whenever they're trying to get a silent stage. You don't need that. You can just plug into a modeler. And your thoughts and your view whenever they say that is, no, it's about my feel. It's about how it reacts to my picking. It's about how it reacts whenever I stop real quick and the sound pressure behind me. And that's the difference for me in a 412 is it's not about the volume. It's about the feel. It's about how it reacts
I
back
get
to me.
I get the feel thing. I think when you go to a local gig, who wants to take this for a feel? Nobody.
I'm over the thoughts of if the drummer can carry all of his drums and all of his cymbals and all of his cases and like make 16 trips in and out, dude, I can have one person help me carry a 412 in. If we're carrying subs in, if we're moving, You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I do understand what you're saying. And if I'm playing a gig where there's 50 people there, no, I don't need a 412 cabinet for that. But if I'm playing anywhere halfway decent sized, if there's a decent stage, there is no reason why you can't take a 412 cabinet and feel great with that. There's nothing that says rock and roll more than a 412 cabinet, A. But B, there's nothing that feels and sounds the same way as a 412.
Yeah. We just see things differently.
Otherwise, play your Helix, play your Kemper, because you don't need it. You know, it's not needed anymore.
I think you're taking this out of proportion. You're taking like an inch a mile here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you are. No one needs this.
How much?
No one needs this. I mean, I guess in your defense, no one needs a amp on stage.
No one needs a Princeton.
No one needs it. However, an amp on stage versus plugging directly in is not even comparable to a Princeton to this.
Nothing
Not even like.
You're right.
No.
You're right. This doesn't even kind of compare to a Princeton and a Princeton.
No,
on
I'm
stage.
saying your argument does not compare. Your argument does not compare. This to me is like, it's way overkill. It's way overkill.
An AC-15's overkill.
No, that doesn't even make sense.
The stage is silent. Stage is silent. The AC-15 is overkill.
It won't be silent.
Okay.
It won't be silent.
Do you guys understand where I'm coming from?
I don't think he understands where I'm coming from. In what world? You're getting me all hot and bothered now. That's the wrong. He's my brother. Don't take that any further than it needs to. This, I don't know. I'm just saying a 412. Who needs it anymore? Who needs one? I mean, yes, there's a feel, but when it comes down to it, like when the sound comes out of the speakers, out of a greenback to a 212 greenback, why do we care that much?
I think what it comes down to is no one needs it. You're right. Just like no one needs a twin, no one needs an AC-30. We can take this down to like no one needs all that type of stuff. You're right. You don't need it. I don't need this pedal board with really nice pedals on there. I could use whatever junk. I don't need a nice deluxe reverb. I could use...
Do you truly feel that this inspires you differently than if you would have a 212?
Yeah, I think it does. On the right gig. At the right... Not every gig.
Because this and a 212 does not inspire me differently.
And that's the difference. In some people, a mono rig inspires them a ton. We're both mono players. We don't play in stereo real often or wet dry. But for some people...
Not saying that we wouldn't like to.
No, I'm actually interested in it, and that's another topic for another day I want to get into. But some people, just like this would inspire me to play certain gigs, a wet dry wet rig inspires them just as much. So they're going to take the time to haul 3 different cabinets, 112s or 212s or whatever, and a power amp and a head and all this stuff. The same way they're inspired to do that, this inspires me, and I think it inspires a lot of people to play differently. Just like different guitars will inspire people differently.
All right, so if this inspires you, take this to your next acoustic gig. That's what you're saying. Take whatever inspires you to the gig, right? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying take whatever inspires you to the gig. Absolutely. Absolutely. If something inspires you to play and drives you in a new direction that you wouldn't normally go into, you should take it.
And I'm saying you're crazy.
Well, you're already doing that, though. You're taking stuff that inspires you to gigs.
That is not going to get me, like, yelled out of the band.
Right. I'm not saying you have to play any louder. I'm saying you have to take it to a gig that's reasonable.
Can we not agree that this is going to fill the space and push more air than a 110?
Well, of course it's going to.
There we go. Thank you.
Of course it's going to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Case rested.
You just have to take it to a comparable gig. I'm obviously not going to take that to a singer-songwriter gig, right?
Yeah.
But if at the gig, the other guitar player is using a 212
I tell you
cabinet,
what, you know what this tells me?
What?
Your gigs are bigger than mine. Maybe I have less people at mine. I don't know.
No, what I just mean, like, if the other guitar player is playing a 212 Friedman or something like that, I would have no problem taking this. You know? I'm not going to turn it up any louder.
I disagree.
Yeah, I understand that.
Disagree, Bob.
Where do you guys sit on this? What do you guys think? Put it down below.
Let us know, all right? Because, I mean, we obviously can't get along. So,
See you guys next week.
see ya.